Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Snyder and this is the video for our discussion on discrimination. So after reading the article, The Patient Caregiver Preference, Should Ethnic Discrimination Be Accommodated? I was kind of blown away. Thankfully, I've never been put into this situation, and I actually wasn't sure, if I were to ever come into this situation, what my organization's policy is. So this was a very interesting case. But I'm going to go ahead and start off with the 3 questions that we had to answer. So the first question is, as the nursing director and human resource director, what are your recommendations for handling this dilemma? So like I said, I've never been through this kind of dilemma, so I kind of had to think outside the box and really put myself into that situation. So, in my opinion, since the parents are asking for only Caucasian staff members to care for their son, to respect that, I would at least have one of our Caucasian staff members be the one to go in and explain to the family exactly what our decision was as an organization, and or if we had a policy standing, what that policy would be. But in my opinion, I would have the Caucasian staff member go in and say, due to our hospital's policy, staff members, we can't discriminate our staff members, but we would be more than happy to care for your family. Just unfortunately, we can't meet that request due to some moral policies that our organization has for our staff members. So we can care for your family, but we can't fulfill that specific request. As a nursing director, they would have to find either that Caucasian nurse or Caucasian tech or somebody that can go in and the family can feel comfortable speaking to them, because I feel like if a staff member of a different nationality other than what they were requesting went in, they may automatically just tune them out and not really listen to what they're saying. But if the Caucasian member came in, they might automatically, have trust and faith, especially in the organization, that we're trying to accommodate your request to the best that we can, but unfortunately our policy says that we can't. Question number two. How would the adherence to the patient's requests impact the following persons involved? So I'll start off with the patient and the family. So the patient and the family would feel more comfortable and respected if the hospital were able to fulfill their requests. But if not, they might feel offended and discriminated against as patients for not being able to get the kind of care that they are requesting. And then the staff members and the nurses, caregivers, they might feel some tension if the hospital were to go ahead with their requests, going into a shift and saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, you can't care for this family because of your nationality or your ethnic background. That might cause tension between them and those specific patients, and maybe even tension between the staff members and the nursing director or manager, whoever is telling them that they cannot care for these patients. So that just can cause tension all around and really not have a good outcome. And the Human Resources Department, how this request would affect them, they are going to feel ethically, morally incorrect, overwhelmed, having to be able to explain this hospital policy to everybody so that everybody is on the same page and has a clear understanding of what is going on. But it is their main responsibility to put out that policy and let the nursing directors know and have them come together and then make a decision together on what exactly to explain to the patient. Question number 3, draft a sample policy statement and plan to address future occurrences of such requests. So I brainstormed and came up with a policy pretty much saying any patient requests involving discrimination against staff members will be denied. But we are in charge of letting the patient know and explaining the policy and why, it might create tension, it might be overwhelming, and of course that we want to care for their family. We are happy to, please let us, but just unfortunately that specific request we cannot accommodate. So if the nurse manager or a person of the race that they're specifically requesting can go in and explain this, I think it would make them have more trust in the facility and they might be more understanding. But unfortunately, if they do not like that we cannot accommodate the request, they would have to be referred out maybe to another facility that does, or just we can't provide them care with that specific request for the future, especially. So maybe, I know a lot of organizations have policies where they say, we are here for the patients, whatever their request is, we want to be able to help them. But this is just one of those things where it's ethically and morally a big problem between staff members. So we want to let the staff members know, and maybe like my organization, how, I've never come across this situation, I've never really heard of it, educate their staff members just in case this does happen so that they know clearly how to handle it and go about telling the patient the policy and the answer and being able to explain exactly what we can do for them. So that concludes my video. Thank you for listening, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks.